to the Powerfully Gentle podcast with me, Rhiannon Griffiths. Join me for gentle and beautiful conversations around health and wellness, slowing down, sacred rest, and having permission to just be. To listen to more episodes, go to rhiannongriffiths.com, subscribe on Apple Podcasts, or follow on Spotify. Okay, beautiful soul, grab your cup of tea, come and sit down next to me, and we can begin. Hello, gorgeous souls, and welcome to episode 1. Today, I want to share with you the whole concept of the podcast, how it came about, and why I'm so passionate about having more gentleness in our lives. Okay, so the name for this podcast came from a post that I wrote back in February 2019 that talked about the power within gentleness. How very often in today's society, gentleness can be seen as a weakness, something that is less than, something that is too feminine, too soft. Like, gentleness is a trait to be ashamed of, something that we shouldn't be, something that we should hide from the world, else we can get taken advantage of, looked down upon, or even walked all over. And of course, we cannot possibly be successful if we are gentle beings, right? We should be hard and emotionless. We should push and stand up to the world, hustle and fight and make progress that way, with stress and overwork and doing all of the things at breakneck speed. Because that's what society is built like, and that's what society says you must do, right? But when did gentleness become such a bad thing? When did taking our time and being super gentle and being mindful of our needs become a negative thing? When did giving ourselves space and then gently feeling into things become wrong? How did it become gentleness versus action, or gentleness versus progress, or even gentleness versus power? Who said it had to be one or the other? And when did these concepts become mutually exclusive? Because, my loves, they're really not. And this is how the name of this podcast came into being. And I knew it had to be this way round, to be powerfully gentle. Because if it was reversed, as in gently powerful, although maybe only a very subtle difference there, it doesn't mean quite the same thing. It doesn't have quite the right energy. Because there is huge power in being gentle. It's not just a little bit powerful, or softly powerful, or gently powerful. That could still be interpreted as less than. It has to be the other way around. The power in being gentle, you know? Because my treatments as an acupuncturist are hugely powerful. They're life-changingly powerful, but they are incredibly gentle. You know, just a few tiny needles and some Chinese medicine magic, and yet the power within them is incredible. They are powerfully gentle. And being on retreat with me or working with me online, there are no stadiums full of shouting, dancing, loud people on microphones telling you what to do and how to change your life. No, there's definitely none of that stuff. But what there is safe space. There is stillness. There is quiet. And there's holding. There is energy work. There is healing. There is so much gentleness. And with all of that, there is still really powerful transformation, big shifts and deep change. My work is always powerfully gentle. There is innate power within gentleness. And there is innate power within you, beautiful soul. You do not need to feel bad for wanting a more gentle energy in your life, a more gentle way of living, a more gentle way of being in the world. Embracing gentleness does not mean you are less than, or that you will lack anything in your life. It doesn't mean that you will fall behind or be less successful, or that you won't achieve anything. It's not an either or thing. It's a yes and thing. You can be gentle, yes, and still make progress. You can still be super successful, exponentially powerful, progress positively and abundantly in your life without having to push, without having to force, without having to hustle, strive, or struggle. Just think of the gentle stream that wears away the mighty rock over time. Its gentleness has power and strength. Or the tiny seed that slowly but surely makes its way above the ground through the blanket of snow to the light above. Its gentleness has power and growth. And what about the new moon, with all of its yin vibes, its stillness and darkness and silence? A space where we can pause and reflect upon what we wish to manifest next. Its gentleness has power and potential. So now, I don't know about you, but I happen to think that strength and growth and potential and power, all from a base of gentleness, sounds pretty perfect, right? And it's what we need right now. It's what the world needs now. And as I said in the trailer to this podcast, it is time to put our health and our emotions first. It's time to slow down, to take a step back, to see what needs to change in our lives, in society as a whole. And I am here to encourage you and to guide you in this. So how can you be a little more gentle with yourself today? And I promise you, you don't have to give up any of your power in order to do this, beautiful soul. You can be powerfully gentle. These are the kinds of conversations, new perspectives, thoughts and talking points that I will be having on this podcast. I hope that this has resonated with you and that you enjoy this first episode. I really can't wait to share more with you, and I hope that you will join me. Thank you so much for listening to the Powerfully Gentle podcast. You can download more episodes and subscribe on Apple Podcasts to get new ones delivered to your device so you don't miss out on any of the gorgeousness. For further show notes, information, and freebies, please go to rhiannongriffith.com. And if you know someone who would resonate with today's conversation, please do forward this episode to them. You can share this episode on Instagram stories, tagging me at rhiannongriffithsAQ, and also tag the podcast at Powerfully Gentle, so that more beautiful souls just like you can benefit from this ancient healing wisdom. And I would also love to hear your thoughts on today's episode. Sending you so much love, and I look forward to sitting with you and talking again next time.